everyone, I am here with paper pumpkin alternatives for the No Matter the Weather March 2020 paper pumpkin kit. And I have 12 cards to share with you, A2 size cards. Obviously, when I did the unboxing, I did the Make as Intended, which produced these 3 cute little note cards. And I'll show you what I have left when we get to the end. Okay, so the first one, first thing I did was I pulled out all the cardstock colors that coordinate, which are listed on the back of the instruction sheet down here. It says coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors. Balmy Blue, Basic Gray, Calypso Coral, Grapefruit Grove, Gray Granite, Pear Pizzazz, Petal Pink, Shaded Spruce, and So Saffron. And of course, Whisper White. But, so I pulled out Basic Gray. I had actually, I think, a card base already made. And what I did is I ran the front of this card through the Stone 3D embossing folder. Sorry, my chair's squeaking. And this is in the Celebration, and it's with the Power of Hope bundle. So I hope that's still available. I'm not positive. You'd have to check. But if you're interested, the item is 152317, but it's a bundle. If you spend $100 or more, you can get the Power of Hope bundle, which this is part of. So that's what I did here to make it look like stone in the background. And then this paper is which I've been using quite a bit lately, the Pleased as Punch. This you can purchase in the, it's a Celebration coordination item. And I used the back of the umbrellas. Yeah, the back of the umbrella paper has raindrops. So I used that. And I had a piece already, so I actually just used that piece. I did wrap some white baker's twine from the annual catalog around the bottom 3 times here. And then this, I used the umbrella punch, which comes in a bundle with the set called Under My Umbrella. And so if you get the bundle, it's the Umbrella Builder Punch, which has both umbrellas and the handle, as you can see here, and then all these other sentiments. So that's what that is from. And I punched this though out of that paper. So when you flip this paper over, well, there's a big one that's like that as well, and that's where that came from. These of course are from the paper pumpkin kit. And here what I did is I used the Pretty Label Punch, which I've said before is one of my favorites. And I used the card front from this, and I just cut out a couple clouds. I stamped on this one in Basic Gray, No Matter the Weather, we're in this together. Probably should have used blue because it may have shown up better, but oh well, I did that. So, and these and this cloud are bumped up on dimensionals. And then inside, you can see the texture over here still. I hope you can. There, you can see it actually better than you can on the front. And here I had another one punched out, but it's a smaller one like I showed you. And another piece of the paper with the raindrops. And this, I believe, is the back of this card that I had used. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So that is the first card. Okay, let me figure out where to put them. So the next ones, I went a little bit different direction. I cut apart an envelope. So I guess now's a good time to tell you. I have 2 of each envelope left. So 1 of each went to the ones Made as Intended. I used 1 of each in different ways, which I'll show you. And then I have 2 of each left. And I might as well just show you. I have 1 of this card. I was thinking of using this, but I didn't yet. 2 of the ones with the girl in the boots, and 2 of this one left. So those are the cards I have left, and then I'll show you at the end what I have left in bits. So this is a piece of Petal Pink, and I used this flower stamp that came in the extra free set. Now that set actually colors this bouquet in, but instead of doing that, I just used the flowers and did tone on tone all over the background. This is a piece of the envelope. You can see it's still rounded even. This is the stripe of the envelope, and then this is a piece of Calypso Coral that I have left. I actually think this is the third card, but that's okay. And then this is one of the pieces that came in the kit. I stamped it in Calypso Coral, wishing you brighter days ahead. I popped this up on dimensionals. This is the twine from the kit. And these are the little dots from the kit. You know, it came with raindrops and little dots. And I used the dark, is this the right one? Yeah, dark Calypso Coral and just colored them to make them match. And then I really like this card. And then on the inside, this is a little stamp out of the normal Paper Pumpkin kit. It's right there, and I used Grapefruit Grove on that, and then Calypso Coral behind here, and this I think is a piece of Whisper White. So that is what I did for the second card. That's probably my one of my favorites. So this I think was actually the second card. Yeah, here's a bigger piece of the envelope, and this has Calypso Coral, and I had used the new, available to you all, April 1st, Ornate Floral 3D Embossing Folder, which is quickly becoming one of my favorites. I also used it on the Calypso Coral on the inside, which is kind of covered up, so it's a shame. I used 5 of the little hearts. I did stamp using the basket in here, and I stamped it in basic gray. And then I took Calypso Coral and I did use this stamp to stamp the color in, and I got it pretty good. There's just a couple that aren't lined up real good, but I think I did pretty good. And then I used I want to say dark old olive to color in the leaves on that. Or it might be Pear Pizzazz out of the, I think it's actually Pear Pizzazz, but not in alcohol markers, in the Stampin' Right. That's what I think I did. I did these in 2 sittings, so that's why I'm not remembering exactly. So wishing you brighter days ahead, I also stamped in Calypso Coral. I wrapped the twine around here a couple times, tied a bow. This is another scrap of Calypso Coral, and this is the Starburst Punch, which is another one of my favorite. I think these two are probably my most used punches from Stampin' Up, so I hope they continue them. And then on the inside, I stamped the 2 larger hearts, where you get 3 little hearts in the regular kit. And then here I used the flower, and I stamped in Calypso Coral down in the corner there. I really like that card too. Okay, now the next one is a little different. Again, pulled out basic gray and balmy blue, and I don't think I didn't emboss it, but this time I used this card front, but I turned it upside down, and I stamped some clouds up in the gray part. I stamped the raindrops coming down. Here's that pretty label punch again, no matter the weather, we're in this together. But and I stamped the grassy stuff that's in the free bigger set that came with it this time. And then this is the bunny from the kit. Now this is the bottom off excuse me, the other card that I only have one left of. And you'll see, I don't know where I used the rest of that on. Hang on. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is the grass, and I actually fussy cut it to make it look more grassy. And this bunny is the, one second, I have him here somewhere. Okay, Nature's Beauty. Also, by the way, guys, I believe the number is $90,000 that Stampin' Up! Was able to contribute to mental health organizations. as a result of selling this Nature's Beauty stamp set. Remember, they were going to donate $3 for every stamp set purchase. That's a lot of stamp sets, guys. So thank you all who bought the Nature's Beauty stamp set. It was in the holiday catalog and it carried over. I think last week they announced that they were able to donate $90,000 as a result of buying this. But it has a little bunny in it, and I stamped the bunny and I fussy cut that bunny out, and I put it sort of, because it was sort of facing this bunny. Also up here I finished, actually I think I finished it on the next card, but I got out this polka dot tulle ribbon I've been using up. I have another spool, so I've been trying to use that one. And I put it underneath the cloud here, sort of between the borders. I used 3 hearts, which ties in their little pink ears. So yeah, and I stamped that in a combination of pear pizzazz and shaded spruce. The stuff in the background as well, that matches this. And then on the inside, I just put the grassy stuff down here in the corner and put balmy blue, and this is the other half of this card front. So I thought that came out super cute. You could change the sentiment and make it an Eastery one and leave off the raindrops if you want, but yeah, I like how that came out. Okay, I have a little glue there that I don't have to fix. And so the next 2 I went to shaded spruce. This is another one of this card front. Oh, I know where. So the rest of this one was the clouds that I used in here. So this grass here came off the one that I used for these clouds, and then I was able to get 2 circles, which I'll show you on towards the end. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with them, and I used them at the end. So this one I got out So Saffron. I used the card front pretty much as it was. So I kept it pretty simple. I stamped Rain or Shine, You're Always on My Mind, and I'm pretty sure that, yeah, that was from the Under My Umbrella stamp set. And I used shaded spruce. That was on a scrap of Whisper White. This obviously was from the kit, which is bumped up on dimensionals, and here's where I finished the polka dot tulle ribbon, yay. And these are Grapefruit Grove and Calypso Coral, and I just stamped them right on this white. The umbrella was punched out of the Pleased as Punch paper, as was this, but it punched out white. Actually, I think I had this from a piece of white cardstock, and I just colored it with my Stampin' Blend Smoky Slate. It's a little bit different color than the stuff in the background, which is perfect because it makes it show up good. And then these are the last 3 out of one of my holiday rhinestone basic jewels. They were the last 3 shaded spruce that I had, which brought out the shaded spruce from the background and from the grass. And then inside is just plain with So Saffron and the back of this card. So that's the next one. And then the next one, I went a little different. I did take out an envelope, the green and white striped envelope, and here I used the Stitch So Sweetly dies, which let's see, here they are, which are here. They're in the mini catalog 2020, you know, the one that used to be called Occasions. Sorry. And I don't remember, I think it was this one I used, and then this one. Let me just check. No, it was the biggest one in the background, but this one after I stamped the door. And then this is actually the layering ovals, and I'll show you where that Hello Friend came from. So the door was stamped in basic gray. That is out of the extra set we got free in the kit right here. And then this was stamped out of this. This time I colored the flowers with Calypso Coral Light and Dark, So Saffron Dark, I think, in the centers. And here I think I used Granny Apple Green. And here I used Light and Dark Soft Suede, but I did use some Wink of Stella on that as well. And then again, this white ribbon, which I really love, the flax ribbon. I'm getting low on that one, but I have another one of those too. And I used Shaded Spruce. Oh, the Hello Friend is from the Seriously the Best. Love this one. I haven't used it enough. And I ended up, well, let me step back. I colored this with Light and Dark Shaded Spruce, Light Pool Party, Dark Mango Melody for the lights, I believe. Some Saffron, Light and Dark, and Old Olive for the plant. You can't really see it, but I have some of those greens stamped in front of the doorway down on the bottom of this rectangle, because there was a lot of white space, and I did it in Pear Pizzazz and Shaded Spruce. And those I just glued down, and there's some coming up the side here too. And then this is popped up, and this is popped up as well. And then here I broke out another pack of holiday rhinestones and used some more Shaded Spruce. And then inside, this actually is the envelope piece that I die cut this out of, and I put it onto a piece of Whisper White. I think that looks pretty cool. Sorry about that. So it almost looks like this is on top of this, but it's not. It's indented. So yeah, something different. So I thought that came out cool. It took a little while because I had to color it and figure it out and all that. So the next one, I had a Whisper White thick card base in the long version, but I put a piece of Pear Pizzazz on top of it, and then I used that little stamp again. This is the same style as this card, but because I had the envelope flap left from this, I cut it and put it down here. Now I think I put it on top the Pear Pizzazz, because that was cut the size of a card, total card front. And then here is the rest of the flap, just like I did over here. But I didn't have any ribbon that I liked with it, except this braided burlap trim, which is in the Tropical Oasis suite in the mini catalog. And as far as I know, that's still available. This is out of the kit, and these are stamped in Grapefruit Grove. This is out of the kit and just glued down, as are the flowers. And then I used Dark Calypso Coral and Dark So Saffron stamping blends, which are the alcohol markers, to color the dots that were in the kit. I used more dots than I did raindrops, actually. And since I like this format a lot, I figured I'd do a similar thing, but not exactly the same. It means the same style, but different top part. Excuse me. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. And in here, I stamped Pear Pizzazz on Pear Pizzazz instead of the Shaded Spruce, and just the Grapefruit Grove flowers again. So that's that one. And then a couple more, guys. This one, oops, I got 2 for 1 there. This one I cut the yellow envelope up, and I used a piece across the bottom here. Now, let me think a minute. Yeah. This might have been the piece of the envelope. I'm not 100% sure on that. Another piece of the Pleased as Punch paper. This I fussy cut off that other card front. I'm trying to get this card front. I fussy cut it. And then instead of putting the boots on top like they had, these boots, I actually cut 2 off and I put them underneath so that the person is standing like on top, these other two are in the background. I didn't want the orange and pink color on this particular card. I mean, there's some up here, but I didn't want to highlight it. Plus, this card base I think was already made too, and if you have a vertical card, it took up the whole front, and I just didn't like the way that looked. 2 more rows of the white flax. This is from the Stitch So Sweetly Dies also, but this time instead of the rectangles, I used one of the labels. And I've shown those before, so that's like the second smallest label. And that one is bumped up on dimensionals. These are all glued down, and then this is the twine tied in a bow and tucked under the Pear Pizzazz and white twine. And here I did use my Balmy Blue Dark Stamp and Blend, and I used the teardrops, the raindrops this time, and I put 3 on, 1 here and 2 here. And then on the inside I just had an extra piece of the raindrop paper and a piece of Whisper White there. So that's that one. And then this one used the reverse side, this paper that has the raindrops. Oops, well, that's not a good example. But this is one of the umbrellas in there, like that. So I was using up some of that paper too. I thought, well, I'll just use that. But here's another piece of the envelope. And then I stamped a "No matter the weather, we're friends forever." I have somebody in mind, a local friend, to get this. And then here's the other 2 rain boots. And then here I pulled out one of the flower faceted gems from the annual catalog. And I was thinking of using the coral color, but I actually liked the blue better, which I think is actually Calypso Coral. I just thought it tied in with the blues up here better. And I used the triple banner punch to flag this. And then inside, I used a stamp out of the umbrella, under my umbrella. It has these little stamps here, and I think I used this one, but I turned it on an angle and it kind of cut off the flower. And I colored it in light and dark So Saffron, dark Calypso Coral, and I believe this is light and dark Granny Apple Green on Whisper White. So that's that one. And the next one, here's the last piece of the yellow envelope. This was from the bigger piece, so I think that this was also from the bigger piece, but I cut the sides where the white is off to make it fit to this. And then I think this was from the envelope flap, and that's why I put ribbon over it, because you could actually see the start of the rounding of the glue on there. I don't know if you know what I mean, like up here. Not all of it, but to get enough, there was a little bit of shiny where the glue was, so I put ribbon over it. And then this one I turned the other way, and here, remember the card with the clouds that I used, that one, this one? And I said I had some scallop circles. These are 1 3/8 inch scallop circle punches, which I cut out of the remainder of what was left of this for card front from the kit. Then this is from an envelope, probably from that same, I don't know which one, but I cut little 1 inch circles. Now those were not Stampin' Up! Punches, but I think they do have a 1 inch circle punch. And then I put the 2 little hearts that are in the kit up on mini dimensionals. I put these up on dimensionals and lined them up right here. I cut another 1 3/8 inch circle out of the leftovers I had from another card front I had used for something. I forget which one. The bunny one, I think. Anyway, I had enough to get a circle out of. And then this is from the kit, and I stamped it in So Saffron, wishing you brighter days ahead. And again, I just colored the dots with Calypso Coral alcohol marker, the dark. And inside, because I have little hearts, I just stamped the 3 hearts in petal pink from the stamp set that came in the kit, 1, 2, and 3, and I just put them up in the corner. And this looks like the back of a card from one of the cards. I don't know which one. So that's that one. And then I thought I really wanted to do a sort of an Eastery one, but I also wanted to use gray granite. Gray granite is not my favorite color, but when I went to get my gray granite, there was already a card base made, so I thought, all right, I'm going to use it. This is the top of the envelope. I'm sorry, it's this part of the envelope, and I might have misstated that when I showed you this. It's actually this part of the envelope cut here, so right there, that's what this is. And same on that other card that had the green. So I am thinking that's from the one that had the shaded spruce, and I wanted to use it, so I put a piece of the gray granite or texture weave ribbon, which is in the annual catalog. It's 1/2 inch, 10 yards, and yeah, gray granite and white down the side. And then in my gray granite paper, I already had 2 ovals already die cut from the layering layering ovals, yes, and the scalloped ones, and they were sort of big, and I thought, oh, I don't know what to do with them, so I ran this one through, I have lost it, the basket weave embossing folder, which I have misplaced. Thought I had it right here, but apparently not. Anyway, it's in the mini catalog, the basket weave embossing folder. That's it. So strange. Oh wait, oh, here it is. Coastal weave, I'm sorry, coastal weave 3D embossing folder. It looks like that. It's in the mini catalog. It's part of the Tropical Oasis suite also, and it's number 151503. And I ran just the oval through that, and then this is the Starburst punch, which was the last bit from this same card front. I actually think those were from this one when I fussy cut her out. I had enough for the Starburst, and then this one actually might have been from like right here or right here, because it had some white on it. I'm not sure, but I kind of tucked the white part under there. And so I took the bunny. Now see, the other one I used the Nature's Bounty bunny, but I had forgotten there's actually a bunny in this set too. This is such a versatile kit. I really love it. I think if they get any extras and full kits or refills, I just need to get one. So I stamped that bunny in basic gray. I used shaded spruce, and I used just this a little bit down on the bottom just to make the bunny look like he's hopping out of the field or something, and to go up to this bunny. But then I used the Happy Easter, Happy Spring, Happy Happy Everything, and that is from Timeless Tulips, which is in the mini catalog. It's right here. Happy Easter, Happy Spring, Happy Happy Everything. Now if it would have said Hoppy Hoppy Everything, that would be great. Even better. And that's pretty much all I did on that one. And then inside is just a piece of Whisper White, but I edged it in Balmy Blue Stampin' Right marker, because I didn't want to cut. I thought if I cut a piece of Balmy Blue and put it around, it would be too much, because there's not really much blue. Oh, and this is a strip off that card too. This is the white part down here. See the blue coming up through? So I used every bit of that card except maybe a little bit up here that was cut around the edge. And so I just took this and went around the edge, which I don't know if you can, there you can see it a little bit. And one more, guys, one more gray granite, because yeah, I was starting to run out of ideas, and I have other ideas, but I honestly was getting kind of tired of doing it. So this time I used the subtle textured embossing folder, which is in the annual catalog. Again, use that texture weave ribbon. This is the second oval that I had, but I went ahead and figured out what size oval these rain boots would fit on, and they come with the flower part, and I stamped them in Balmy Blue, and then I stamped the floral in Balmy Blue, and I managed to get it lined up perfectly. I don't know how I did that, but I did. And then I did put, this is one of the flags that came in the kit. I stamped that in gray granite this time. You're capable of amazing things. I would have liked a different sentiment that had to do with friends, but anyway. And then I just left the dots clear and put 5 of them on. And this bottom oval and this are bumped up 1-dimensionals. And then I didn't have any more gray granite pieces, then I didn't want to cut into another, but I had a Balmy Blue. And I think, no, I think this is Whisper White. I don't think this is card base. I had a piece of Whisper White left, but it wasn't very big, and that was from, yeah, it was Whisper White. It was from cutting out the small oval. Had another piece on the end, and it was just big enough, that size, so I just cut a Balmy Blue big enough to go around it from a scrap, and that's it. So I have 12 cards for you, plus if you saw my Stuff It collab from Saturday, you'll see I used a bunny in the Parcels and Petals little boxes I made. I made one in Balmy Blue using the Pleased as Punch, and it just says a little something and has one of the bunnies and hearts from this kit on it. So that actually is an alternative as well. Or one thing I was going to do, but I'm now out of bunnies, I was going to make some of the pizza boxes, which is another idea, with some of the bunnies and things on. So anyway, I do have 12 cards. I'm not going to be able to fit them all here for sure, you know. And I, except maybe the gray granite, the last gray granite one, I really think they all came out pretty well. I'm pleased. I really like the bunnies. And there we have it. So I'm going to actually pick them up, and then I'm going to quickly show you. I'll just go like this real quick. I like that one too a lot, and this one. I think they all came out really cute, and they're not, you know, like super hard fancy folds and stuff. I am going to be doing a fancy fold card, not from the kit, but I do have some glue dots left. I did start to use them for this. I do have not too many clear rounds, but I do have lots of raindrops left. I have a whole bunch of twine left. I have 2 of these left. I'm not sure. I might put them in with my umbrella kit. And I have 1 of those left. And 1 of these left. I have no more bunnies. I have 1 of these left. And I have 1 circle, stitch circle. And I do have, let's see, 3 blue flags, banners, labels, whatever they're called, and 3 petal pink. And I have 4 little hearts. And then this wasn't part of the kit, but I do have 1 umbrella left from that Pleased as Punch. I'll put that in with the Pleased as Punch paper. And then the card fronts and things I've already shown you. So I hope you enjoyed that. And please, if you do like what I made, please consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing if you're not already a subscriber. I try and do alternatives every month. I don't usually do 12. I usually do more like 5 or 6, but I really love this kit, actually. Really, really do. And they gave you so much you could do with it, just even between the 2 stamp sets. But always look at your coordinating colors, and if you don't have them, that's one of the best things about Stampin' Up! Is that everything coordinates. You know, Their dye-based markers coordinate. Their Stampin' Blends, which are the alcohol markers, coordinate. Their inks coordinate with the cardstock. So yeah, I mean everything, and even their designer papers coordinate with the colors that they have. So that is my favorite thing about Stampin' Up. And their stamps are excellent quality, especially the red rubber, but also the photo polymer. They're not acrylic, they're not plastic, and I haven't had any yellow yet. Now, I've only been doing Stampin' Up since July of 2018, so not quite 2 years, but I bought from them before that, and I have not had any yellow. Have you? I'm not sure. I've had some other ones yellow, like the plastic ones. Now they stain. I'm not saying stain, I'm saying the actual photo polymer yellowing. So see, this was used with Calypso Coral, and it did stain it. I may be able to get more of that off with my Stampin' Mist cleaner. So I will be trying that. But for now, I have a mess to clean up in my room, and I'm gonna let you go so I can get this uploaded hopefully today, and I will talk to you the next time. Hugs, love, and peace, and stay safe.